What's up, everybody, and welcome to this lesson. In this lesson, we're going to be talking about past simple and past continuous. And in other videos or in other lessons, we talked about the simple present and present continuous. And it's very similar to the past simple and the past continuous. Yeah. So you kind of already know what this is about, but this is a little bit different. Okay. One thing I want to say is that this presentation is from Prezi, and as always, I will leave it down below the video if you're watching online. If you're here and you want to access it once the video is uploaded, you will find it there. Okay, so let's get going. Ooh. All right. So with simple past, what we do, and you guys have seen this before, we add ed at the end of the verb. So I worked, you worked, he, she, it worked, we worked, you worked, they worked. There is no difference between the third person singular and everything else, okay? So it always, for the most part, in irregular verbs, it takes ed at the end. Any questions? All right, cool. So this should be relatively simple. Hold on, let me fix my chair. I'm banging into stuff. All right. So again, what we're doing is simply adding the letters E and D at the end of the verb. And that's how we know and how we can identify it as simple past. Cool? Awesome. All right. So with irregular verbs, you want to type and you want to write it?
Yes.
Okay. So again, you can. Yes.
Okay.
It's all the same, which is the really cool part, is that in simple past, you don't have to worry about things like you do in simple present. So in simple present, the third person singular is different, whereas in a simple past, there is no difference. It always ends with ed if the verb is a regular verb. Cool? Awesome. Can I change it?
Yeah.
Awesome. Oop, my bad. Let's go. All right, so then we have some irregular verbs. And some of these irregular verbs, they do not end in ed. You can find their forms in the website below. So if you go to this particular website, you'll be able to find them. All right. These are some examples. Hold on, we don't have to go there. But I bought, so the past tense of buy is bought. It's not buyed, right? It's bought, because buy is an irregular verb. So I bought, you bought, he, she, it bought, we bought, you bought, and they bought. And again, the cool thing about this is that they are all the same. Okay, so while it is, in this case, while it is irregular, it is not different. Can anyone else think of another verb that we use a lot that is an irregular verb? Find, fight, fought, right? Sorry.
Bringing.
Well, yeah, bring, brought, fight, fought. These are all kind of on the same ones. But what about go? What happens to go?
No.
That's got. That's get.
Went.
Right? Went. Go becomes went. So it's
Borrow-
extremely different.
borrow is borrow.
Borrowed.
Borrowed.
So borrowed is a regular verb. So it ends in ed. Whereas bought or fight or find, it's found, right? Even find is different. So these are all irregular verbs, and for the most part, you just kind of have to memorize them. Yeah. And you kind of get to know them. But the cool part is, for the most part, there is no change with any of them. So once you memorize it once, you're set. Okay, so there is no difference in simple present, in third person singular. Yeah, like there is in simple present. Cool? Questions so far? Are we good? Are you sure? All right, fantastic. Let's move on. Oops. All right, so here are a few tips to help with spelling. We did this for the simple present as well, or sorry, for past continuous. Remember, we had a few rules. Here as well, we have a few rules. So when the verb ends with a consonant plus y, the y changes into IE. There is no change when y is preceded by a vowel. Okay, so again, what are the vowels? Can anyone help me list the vowels? What letters? A, I, O, U, E, right? So if any of these letters are before the Y, then it changes into IE. Okay, so to try, there is a if there is no vowel before the Y, it changes to IE. So tried, for example, becomes tried, and it changes from the Y to IE because R is a consonant. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. If there is a vowel before it, then it stays the same and you just add ED. Okay? For example, stay becomes stayed. All right. If you look at the spelling over here, we kept it a Y because A is a vowel.
Okay. They have two vowels, and you have to drop the E and then add the Y.
If there is if there is a consonant and then Y, you drop the Y and you add the IE. Okay, so it has to be a consonant before. So any letter that is not a vowel is a consonant. Yeah?
They're the same.
And no, it changes. So R, comes closer. No, these are just general rules. Okay, just like we did with simple present continuous, we had a set of rules. Do you guys remember that? We had a set of rules, like in swim, you add an M, right? When you're doing swimming, you add the M in there. This is something similar. So if there is a consonant before the Y, you take out the Y and you add an IE. If there is a vowel before it, you take off the you keep it the same, so nothing goes away. Okay, so if there's a vowel, nothing changes. Yeah? So what's the rule?
The rule we had
Yes. So if there's a consonant, you add the IE, you change it.
Okay, for example, Kevin did, you travel UK and they having double L.
Well, we haven't gotten there yet.
Oh.
So give me a second. But for this rule, we're good on the first rule?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So before ED, the final consonant is doubled when it is preceded by one stressed vowel. Okay, so what that means that if there is an emphasis on the vowel right before the consonant, you add a letter. You add that letter again. Okay, so stop. There is an emphasis on the O in the way it is said, right? So when we say stop, the harshest letter in there or the stress is the O. Stop, right? Yeah. He has a lot of work to do. Yeah. I know, they're so anxious. Everyone has stress, including vowels. Yeah, so this stress is when we're talking about pronunciation. Okay, so if the vowel is stressed when you're pronouncing the word, then and it has a consonant right after, and the consonant's kind of almost a stop, right? Prefer, right? So the vowel right before is stressed, then you add that letter again. So to stop, I stopped. We add another P and then we add the ED. To prefer, they preferred. Okay, so we add the R and the ED. The final consonant is not doubled when the stress is not on the last syllable. Okay, so develop, the O sounds like what is called a schwa. I don't know why the screen keeps disappearing on you guys' end, but that O right before the P in develop is not really sounded out. So it's not stressed. Okay, so it's develop, right? It's not a harsh O like stop, right? It's a and it's soft, which is something called a schwa. Okay, that schwa in pronunciation is kind of like a sound. Okay, and that's when we know that something, and this isn't pronunciation, but that's when we know that something is stressed or something is not stressed in terms of vowels. Okay, so in this case, develop, right? Develop, there's that sound, so it's not stressed, so the consonant is not doubled. Okay, so these again are general rules. You don't have to know these by heart. You'll learn this stuff over time. So the more you learn, the more you read, for example, the more you'll start seeing these things, and then they'll become intuitive. So for example, in Spanish, there are rules that you probably don't know, but you use them all the time. And the reason why you use them all the time is because you've been so exposed to the language that it's just intuitive for you. Okay, so there are things in Spanish that are irregular and you get it right away. You don't think about it because you are more exposed to the language. With this stuff too, the more you get exposed to English, whether in reading or in writing or in listening or in watching TV or whatever the case is, the easier this stuff becomes. Okay, so my suggestion is always, if you can read more, read more. Even if it's just one article a week, right? Then you can see how this stuff appears. So the reason why we're talking about it today is not because you have to know this. It's just when you start seeing it, keep it in the back of your mind so that when you start seeing it, you can tell, oh, I've seen this before, right?
Yeah.
But don't let it stress you out, okay? All right, so the next one is the final consonant is not doubled when it is preceded by two vowels. So if there's two vowels before the last consonant, it's not double. So succeed has two E's before the D. So we don't add another D. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. So in British English, the final L is doubled, except when it's preceded by two vowels. In American English, it's not doubled, and that's where the question is. So if you're writing in British English, and there is one vowel, it's always two L's, right? So for example, until, UNTIL, right? I don't know why that's not a verb. Never mind. Never mind what I just said. Ignore it. Travel, for example, traveled, okay? In British English, it has two L's. In American English, there's one L, okay? Mail, the same. He mailed. Again, it has two vowels. So in British English, it's still one L. But do you care about that today? Absolutely not. All right. Yeah, so mailed has two vowels. That's why it's not doubled. But in in American English, it's not doubled anyways. So we live in America, so we don't have to worry about the double L's. Yeah? Cool. Questions? Again, why are we seeing this today? Just so you have it in the back of your mind. Do you have to worry about this today? No. But when you see it and you're reading and you're wondering why, this is the reason why. Okay? Is it scaring you?
Yeah.
No.
It shouldn't be, because you don't have to worry about it. Right? Okay? So it's not something that's gonna stop you. It's not something that's gonna hurt you. It's just when you see it, I want you to know that, oh, okay, I heard this somewhere before. And the more you read, the easier it becomes. Yeah? Cool. I promise it gets easier. All right. So when do we use simple present? We use it to describe something that took place in the past at a specific time. Easy? Something that happened in the past that took place at a specific time. Cool. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pause the recording for a second. All right, we're back from the pause recording. So, simple past. We use it to describe something that took place in the past at a specific time. So, for example, I saw her yesterday. Yeah?
Yeah.
That's something that happened at a specific time in the past. So in this case, there is a clear indication of the past time, such as yesterday, last year, in 2005, 2 weeks ago, when, right? When did you see her? I saw her yesterday. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so if we have a clear indication of a time, we use simple past. Okay? And that's when we use ed. Okay? When did you play golf? I played yesterday. Yeah? When did you go to the movies? I went to the movies 2 days ago. Cool?
Yes.
Easy?
Yes.
Simple. Awesome. All right.
Okay, the when did you arrive is the future?
Nope, it's past.
It's past?
It's
Did.
past.
Oh, okay. It's
Because
past.
it has did.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's how we know. So I think that's the second slide. So let me see. All right. I'll add these videos to the bottom of the video too. Hey, hold on. There should be a question one. All right.
I haven't this.
I know I'm looking for a certain slide. I'm looking for a certain slide. Don't hate me. Because it answers your question. All right. So now we are at present continuous. So we know that the present simple past, we use it for an action that happened in the past. It's over, it's done, right? At a certain time. Present continuous is, past continuous is almost identical to present continuous, except the verb to be is in the past. So I was, you were, he was, she was, it was, we were, you were, and they were. Okay? So the verb to be in the past is was and were. Yes? These are the two forms. So again, we have the subject plus the verb to be plus ing. Same as simple present continuous, except this time the verb to be is in the past. Does that make sense? Okay. So we have, let me move this. Okay. So we have the noun or the subject, right? Let's do subject plus the verb to be in the past, right? Plus verb with ing ending. Can someone give me an example?
They are working.
Are is in the present.
Okay.
They will be, they were working.
They were working, but that's the example we have. So give me another example. They were running.
They were running.
They were running. We don't need to put yesterday. Okay, we can if we want to. They were running. Another example. She was. That would be simple present. Okay, she was at the store. Okay, we can assume yesterday or before or whatever, right? She was cooking. There we go. Anything else? Other examples?
He was in the car.
He was in the car would be simple present because it doesn't have a verb with ing, right?
He was swimming.
He was swimming. Exactly. He was swimming. So in Spanish, you would say, él estaba en el calle, right? Eso es pasado sencillo or sencillo, whatever, right? Pero cuando tienes ando, debe ser que estaba trabajando, right? So necesita los dos. Necesita el verb to be plus ing, or in this case, verb estar with ando. So here we have the verb to be in the past, just like estaba is in the past, plus verb with ing ending, or in Spanish it'd be verb plus ando, right? Cool? So similar, the same thing as in Spanish. Any other examples? You were cleaning your house. Great. Other ones? We were drinking water. 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 Huh? There may be other things. No, it's water. My little friend. Okay. Need some time to write this down? Or can I move? Yeah? All right, I can move. All right, clear all my drawings. All right. So when do we use simple, present continuous? So I keep messing this up. When do we use past continuous? We use past continuous to describe something that was going on in the past, but it was interrupted by something else. So if it wasn't interrupted by something, it would have continued. Okay? So in other words, we use past continuous to say that somebody was in the middle of doing something in the past. Okay? But then something happened and it stopped him from doing whatever he was doing. So yesterday at 10:30, I was playing tennis. Okay? I was traveling when I saw my cousin in Spain. Okay? So it's kind of like an interrupted event, even though we can use it by itself, right? I was running. That's it, right? But there is an assumption that something was happening and it got stopped. Okay? So again, it's the same as in Spanish. Yeah? We use it in the same places. So it's not, hopefully it's not very hard for you, because just anytime you want to say the past continuous in Spanish, you just use the same place in English. Yeah? Simple? Okay. Questions? Thoughts? Worries? All right, cool. You're worried, you're saying? Okay, well, tell me what you don't understand so I can help you.
No, it's fine.
What do you mean it's fine? What am I here for? It's not fine. Okay.
I'm confused sometimes when there is present. Well, present I understand. In past too, but the simple and form, this is one that I don't know.
Okay. I'm just gonna tell you again. It's the same as in Spanish.
I know the
Okay.
Spanish is easy
Because you know it. Yeah. But when you stop, okay, so you say it, and then when you stop to think about it and you're confused, say the sentence in Spanish that you want to say, and then translate it in English.
Oh, okay.
That would work because the languages are a lot, like in a lot of ways, they have the same structure. It doesn't work for Arabic. I can't do that for Arabic, but for Spanish, it works. So if you want to say, like he played, él jugó, right? Or juega, that's because it's irregular, right? He played, él juega. It's the same structure, yeah?
Yeah.
What's a regular Spanish verb? Jugar is irregular, right? Because it would be O at the end. Ella bailó, right? She danced. Yeah? But when you say ella estaba bailando.
Ella bailó, él bailó, ellos bailan.
Yes, yeah. Except in English is just ed. But the places where, yeah, so in the same place in that you would use that sentence in a conversation or when you're writing, you use the English equivalents, which would be she danced or he danced or they danced. Yeah? So when you're confused, and again, in the same place where you would use past continuous in English, you use it in Spanish. So in the places where you say ella estaba bailando, you would say she was dancing, or ella es bailando, or ella está bailando. Okay, so she is dancing. Esos son las diferencias entre el presente y el pasado. So, en el mismo lugar que estabas usando la frase en inglés, puedes usarla en español. So, if you're afraid or if you're worried or if you're confused, stop and say that sentence even in your head. Say it in Spanish. And if it's simple past, then use ed. If it's past continuous, use past of equivalent to estar, which is the verb to be, and then ando, which is ing.
Okay,
Yeah?
thank you.
Cool?
Más que nada, cuando llega el va,
Sí,
ajá,
sí. Sí. So, porque el pasado del verb to be, que es estar en inglés, es was and were. Okay? So, casi así. ¿Puedes verla? So, was and were. So, en la misma manera que en español va a ser yo estuve, right?
trabajando.
Sí, yo estuve trabajando. Tú estabas trabajando, right? Él está trabajando o estaba trabajando, right? So, pero en inglés no hay muchas like conjugations, es solo was and were. Esos son los dos. Okay.
Y al final,
ing, right? So, ando in Spanish, right? So, ¿qué va a estar? Okay, mira. All right. Vamos a escribirla aquí en español. Okay. Yo estuve, help me. Estuve trabajando.
yo estuve sentada todo el día.
Okay, hold on. All right, hold on a second. Let me pick another color besides blue. Okay. Yo estuve trabajando. Tú estabas, right?
Ajá,
Is that right? Estuviste? Is that what you're saying?
estaba trabajando.
Is that correct?
Yo estaba trabajando.
Él,
Él estaba.
ella
Y él estaba
estaba
trabajando.
trabajando. Okay. Nosotros
Estuvimos trabajando.
trabajando.
Ajá, ustedes.
Ellos estuvieron también, right? Right? Okay, do you see how it's the same?
Yeah.
Okay. So, same structure. I was working. You were working. He was working. She was working. You or it was working. You were working. Or we were working. You were working. And they were working. Yeah? Same? We're good? Does that make you feel better?
Yes.
Woohoo! Okay. Entonces seguimos. All right. So I'll add the videos that he has in the lecture at the bottom of this video, but we won't watch them in ours. So that is the past continuous. All right. So a lot of times we use the past continuous, the past continuous and the simple present together. But let's see, when do we use each one? So oftentimes, again, we use them together in the same sentence. All right. When this situation happens, the past continuous describes a longer background action or situation, and the past simple describes the action or the event. All right. So when I woke up this morning, it was raining and my father was singing in the kitchen. All right. So the longer action that was going on, or that is all throughout, is I woke up. In the morning, it was raining. That's something that's kind of short, and it was happening at that moment. And my father was singing is describing is describing a longer background action. Okay, so the simple past describes a short action. I woke up, and then it was raining. That's something longer. And my father was singing. That's something longer. Okay. I think it would be the same in Spanish. So we can go ahead and try it out. So what would be the sentence in Spanish, you guys? No, right? Cuando, right? Cuando
Cantando, ¿no?
estaba yendo y mi papá
Estaba cantando la fiesta.
all right, let me move it. Okay. When I woke up this morning, it was raining and my father was singing in the kitchen. Cuando me levanté, right? When I woke up, same. Levanté is simple past, yeah? Mañana estaba lloviendo, verb to be plus ando, right? And mi papá estaba cantando, again, verb to be plus ing, right? En la cocina. So in the same places where you do simple past in the Spanish sentence and simple and past continuous in the Spanish sentence, that's where you would use them in the English sentence. Okay? Cool? So I was walking home, whistling happily when I saw two masked men run out of the bank. So I was walking home is a longer action. Okay, it's something happening in the background. And I saw is like at a certain time, that's at a moment. It happened and it ended, right? But the ing is almost like continuous, right? So, es más de un momento. Es algo que estaba pasando y sigue a pasar cuando algo interrupted, right? Interrumpió. Thank you. Cool? Simple? Questions? Are you sure?
Yes.
I don't believe you. So, what are your questions for me? No one? No one dares upset me.
Oh my goodness. Halloween.
It's not Halloween, I guess.
The beginning.
But Target has Halloween stuff all over the place. I'm just saying.
Every store now.
Right? I think they started in like August, basically. As soon as September hits, everywhere. Pumpkin, 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 pumpkin.
And then, you know, in July is Christmas because and they start having decorations, everything is done.
That's funny. That is true. My tip of the day, always buy Christmas decoration for next year after Christmas.
Yeah, because they have a promotion.
I know, it's true.
They have a deal.
Exactly. So if you buy it the year before, you're set for the year.
Yeah.
And then you get it at half price. Some smart stuff.
Sometimes for the sale for the summer.
Is the Christmas decoration.
Yeah, last week they have a lot of sale in the Walmart, the plants. Well, it's there because we're not carrying water and they're not.
That's true.
The plant $1 everything.
Ooh.
The patio chair $5.
Which Walmart are you going to?
The swimming pool de 400, almost $500, $75.
No way.
Yes,
That's awesome.
but I said, I don't wanna buy nothing.
Okay. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to go to Walmart and I will see you next time.
Okay, bye.
All right. No, I love it. I will probably stop by. Not gonna lie.
I mentioned that yes, last week. This time, I don't know.
It's gone.
At all. Because every time they change.
I love it. All right. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Okay. My people.
I give you all the proportions.
Please, anytime, just give us a list.
Okay.
It's fantastic. There was deviations from people who are watching online. There was a sale in Express for one day where they sold all the shirts for $10. Needless to say, I bought a bunch of shirts. But anyways, moving on. All right. So often the action describes the past, which interrupts a situation described. It's kind of what I was saying earlier. So basically, it's an action that was continuing and then something stops it. Whatever it is that stops it is usually the simple past. Okay. So I was walking when I saw the bank robbery. Yeah. So if there is an action that was continuing and it stopped by something, that whatever stops it is in simple past, and whatever is continuing is in past continuous. Okay. I broke my leg when I was skiing. All right. So what happened that stopped me from skiing? I broke my leg. And you see the pattern, you'll see it in Spanish as well. So if we were going to, what would be the translation if I said I broke my leg?
Me quebré la pierna.
Okay. I don't know how to spell it. ¿Verdad? All right, help me. ¿Verdad?
Yes.
La pierna. All right. Cuando estuve
Esquiando, patinando.
I'm gonna go with that one. All right. Cool. Is that correct? Do you see it? So, la acción que estaba pasando es estuve esquiando, all right? Eso que estaba pasando. Pero algo interrumpió esa acción, que estaba que yo quebré la pierna. ¿Ya? So, en la misma manera, en inglés, cuando una acción está pasando, eso es en simple, past continuous. I have to list them all before. Eso es en past continuous. Y la cosa que interrumpió la acción
La pierna.
es el pasado sencillo. Okay, que es quebré la pierna in this case. Yeah? So what's the next one? I was playing a computer game when the doorbell rang. ¿Qué estaba pasando?
Estaba jugando la computadora cuando-
Yo estuve, right,
Veo, ring.
jugando en la computadora. Cuando
La campana. La campana de la puerta. Veo. El timbre de la puerta. El timbre. El timbre. Si no tiene la puerta, no.
Okay, so again, estuve ahogando es
Jugando, no dando.
oh, sorry.
Está bien, pero
Don't confuse me. Okay. Yo estuve jugando. I'm like, no, it's correct. Last time I checked. Okay. Yo estuve jugando en la computadora.
estuve ahogando.
Ajá, se entendió como que dijo estuve ahogando.
Oh, no.
Jugando.
It's my cool accent. All right. So, estuve jugando is in the present or simple past continuous. Goodness. Esto es la acción que estaba pasando cuando algo pasó, right? So something happened when I was playing. What happened is the doorbell rang.
Abre la puerta.
Okay. So
Esa es la acción.
yeah. So that's the action that stopped my continuous action. So that one is in simple past, and the action that was going on is in past continuous. Cool? All right. It's the same as in Spanish. So how is that the same as in Spanish? Because the action, you see that in Spanish, the action that was continuing has the verb estar. The action that was continuing or that was happening has was and ing. The action that interrupted was the doorbell ring. Ring is simple past. It's irregular, but it's simple. All right, are we sure? Okay, I believe you this time. But I don't always believe you. I'm just gonna say that. Just this time, just today. Come on, my friend. All right. I'll post these videos again at the bottom below the link. And so that, this is what I was looking for earlier. Oop, 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 come back to me, come back. Oh, all right, there we go. Asking questions. All right, stay. All right, so this one is for asking questions. When we are talking about, why is it so weird? Okay. When we're talking about past simple or simple past, we usually add the verb to do just like we do in simple present, but this time it's not do, it's did. And then the rest of the verbs are in their regular form, in their base form. Yeah? Okay? So did Max play football? Again, we can see that did is in the past. Did is the past of do. Play is in the base form, so it's not conjugated. Okay? Did you watch the film yesterday? Yes, I did. Or no, I didn't. Yeah? Does that make sense? Okay, so when we're asking a question without the question words, which is who, what, where, when, why, we start with did, and then we keep the verb without conjugation. Cool? Can someone give me an example? Did you run yesterday? Did you wash your car yesterday? Anything else? No, I didn't, right? No, I didn't wash my car yesterday, or no, I didn't, or no, I did not, right? Because just like do, you did wash your truck, just not your wife's car. Because why would you? Because, yeah, because it's not yours and you're digging yourself a bigger hole, but that's a different story. All right, but I do love the examples. So you guys remember that when, oh, where did it go? When we talked about the verbs do not or do in with a negative, we said do not is the same as don't, right? In the past, we have the same rule, except it's not do, it's did. So did not is the same as, what would it be? Didn't. So did not is the same as didn't.
For all the like on the third person and the other. Is the same answer like didn't?
Yeah, we didn't, yeah. So it'd be I didn't play. I didn't play football, right? You didn't play football. He didn't. She didn't. Okay, so it will be the same. In simple present, you're right, it changes to do and does, but remember that in past simple, there is no change, right, at all. It's I bought, you bought, he bought. So there is no change in conjugation with simple third person singular. Yeah? Cool. Exciting. Any questions? All right. So if we are asking a question not about an answer, not about an action, for example, were you in Singapore last week? Yes, I was, or no, I wasn't. Okay, so then what we do is we use the verb to be, just like we would in simple present, except now it is in simple past. So now it's the past tense of the verb to be. Cool? And if we want to ask with the WH questions, the who, what, where, when, why questions, then we put that at the beginning, we put did, then the subject, then the verb, and then the rest of the sentence. What did you play yesterday evening? I played football. Okay. When did she meet her boyfriend? She met him yesterday. And he's already her boyfriend? Who is this? Where did they go after the match? They went to a cafe. Yeah? Cool? Awesome. So we just put the WH questions in front of the did, or in front of the verb to be, right? Where were you last night? Okay? Cool beans. Let's clear this. All right, so now we have the past continuous and we are asking questions in the past continuous. All right. So in the past continuous, we will put the auxiliary, which is the verb to be. Okay. Were you reading books? So what do we have? If we're not using, one more. All right. So if we are not adding the WH questions, we put the verb to be first, then the subject, then the verb with ing, then the rest of the sentence. Were you reading books? Yes, I was, or no, I wasn't. Yeah? Were you traveling in the summer? No, I wasn't traveling in the summer. Was Peter playing football? Yes, he was, or no, he wasn't. Were they singing a song? Yes, they were, or no, they weren't. Does that make sense? Sweet. All right. And then, my good friends, if we have the WH questions, we will put those before the same structure. So nothing is different. We just add the WH questions. And what are the WH questions again? Exactly. Who, what, where, when, why. Okay. You see that they either start with a W or they start with an H. Who, sorry, with an H. What, where, when, yeah. How, sorry. How starts with an H. Who, what, where, and why is all W. Cool? Sweet. Yes? Questions? Thoughts? Worries? No? Are you sure? Should I believe you again?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna hug my water and drink.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
If I want to ask, where are you?
Where were you? So we put the where and then the were. I know it's a lot on your tongue. It's like a tongue twister. Where were you? Okay. Yesterday. Where were you 2 days ago? Where were you when the crime happened? Right? Dun dun dun. When the man was killed with a knife. Okay. I'm getting too carried away. But yes, makes sense? All right, my beautiful people. All right, so to sum up kind of what we're doing, past continuous describes a longer action or a situation. The action described by the simple past tense interrupts the situation that described by the past continuous. Okay? Again, very simply, past continuous constantly happening until something stops it. Whatever stops it, that is the simple past. Yeah? It was raining hard when we left the hospital. Okay? Cool? Questions, thoughts, anything? Are you scared? Are you terrified? Are you crying? All right, fantastic. I'm glad you are not. That's it for, I guess that's it for this video, but that is also it for our class today. And I will see you, people who are here, I will see you on Thursday. People who are not here, I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.